Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and happy half birthday to Layla, who is the daughter of Ibn Muhyiddin, who's turning exactly 6 months today, and we'll be celebrating not with chocolate cake, but with solid food for the first time. That's fantastic. So we've featured Ibn Muhyiddin on the channel before and spelt his name wrong. I think we managed to get the Y in the wrong place. Now, that was over 3 years. It's never too late to apologise, I think, so we do that today, and hopefully with the correct spelling. I'm really looking forward to trying this pentomino-based puzzle, and you can too on the first link under the video. But there are other links under the video which will take you to our Patreon site, for instance, where there's still a week left to play Evening Attractions, our negative constraint Sudoku hunt. Hundreds of people have finished it correctly, although it's quite difficult, and have lavish praise on it, which is very kind of them. There's always other things on Patreon as well, like Simon's incredible solve of Emre Kalotoglu's equally amazing numbered rooms stroke skyscrapers puzzle. It's absolutely fantastic. Check that out. It's really long though, so give yourself some time. And I think tomorrow my crossword will go up, my monthly battle with the Times Monthly Club special. So there's always something to attract you on Patreon, evening or otherwise. And there's always our apps where you can practice your Sudoku skills all day long. Some of the greatest names in puzzles have contributed to those, and there are some brilliant puzzles within them. Check those out, please. Along with our merchandise and Sven's Sudoku Pad, another wonderful product. But the first link under the video is to this puzzle. So, pentominoku for Layla, it's called. So, yeah, I mean, Layla, you've already got a song by Eric Clapton. So now you have a puzzle. You're going to probably have to age somewhat to appreciate what your dad has done for you, but really looking forward to giving this a go. So I'm going to go through the rules now. Normal Sudoku rules apply, so we are going to try to put 1 to 9 in every row, column, and 3 by 3 box. We have to tile the grid, except for the shaded central cell, in pentominoes. The whole grid. Each pentomino shape is associated in this puzzle with a number from 1 to 9, which is designated as its pentominoku number. Now, what are the pentomino shapes? And I will just show you them. There is a link under the video to this page. Let me just move that. Oh no, actually, we just need to look at the top half, so that's fine. So, we are using these shapes in the top half of this, in this puzzle, as the names of the pentominoes, and you can see that they're based on the shapes of the pentominoes in a certain orientation. So we have F, I, L, N, P, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Those are the 12 possible pentominoes. Now, we have to tile this grid. We have to associate each shape with a number, and I'll explain why in a moment. F is associated with 6, L with 2, N with 3, P with 4, T with 5, U with 8, V with 7, W with 8, X with 9, Y with 1, and Z with 9. Now, the pentomino number, the pentominoku number, must occur exactly twice in each pentomino. Starred cells show where some of these occurrences are. It's possible for other numbers to occur twice within a pentomino. You don't need to use all types of pentomino shape, and pentominoes of the same shape can be orthogonally adjacent, no problem there. What a bizarre idea for a puzzle. What an intriguing idea. I don't know how this is going to unfold. I do know the pentomino shapes by those letters. Actually, the only one I have trouble with is N, which I see is S in the Conway version. I sometimes call it that. If I mention an S pentomino, I mean N tonight. Now, let's start the puzzle. Give it a go if you feel up to it on the link below the video. But I am going to start now, so let's get cracking. Okay, so we've got, what have we got? We've just got some stars. Nothing but stars in the puzzle. Fabulous. So we can do... Okay, so we can think about the fact that for the pentominoku number to appear twice in the pentomino shape, it's got to appear in two different boxes because, and those two cells in which it appears twice have to be in different rows and columns because otherwise we're breaking Sudoku rules. So this is a pentominoku number. Where is the second one in its shape? It's in a different box. But as we draw this shape, we must not pass through another star in the same row, column, or box. So I think we've got to draw that shape. That must be right. And n, this is n, I've remembered it, has a 3 as its number. So 3 goes on the star, and that's 3 in the corner in the first minute nearly, 3 in the spotlight. Then it needs another 3, which is going to have to be here. And we've made a start. Right, let's look at this shape, which mustn't bump into this star in the same column. So it has to go to there. Where does it go after that? Well, it doesn't go here because then it would be an N shape again and it would need 2 3s in. We've had the 3s in columns 8 and 9, so it must go there. It's a V shape. Both stars are therefore 7s. So we've got going. Hurrah! Now this one has to go at least to there. Now we can't have an I shape in this puzzle because all the both pentominoku numbers would be either in the same row or column, and that's not allowed. This can't go through that star. That's why I've gone to here. So we can't have an I shape. So it's got to, it can't go into row 3 because it would look like that. And it would need a 7 in both of those positions. And no, not necessarily in those. It would certainly need a 7 in the star, and it can't have one of those. So it only goes into row 2 for its pentominoku number. It can't be that shape, because then it would be a 3, it would be an N shape needing 2 3s, and we've had a 3 in row 1 already. I was going to say it has to be a 2, an L, but that's not right. Because it could be an I. So this is a 1 or a 2, I reckon. And that is in the shape. And this or this is in the shape. But this corner is going to have to get right. I'm gradually seeing now that corners matter a lot in this puzzle. We found that here, although I was tracing a path through stars. Here, it's still equally important. We have to get to a cell that is out of this row, column, and box. And that is always going to be a monkey step away. It's either there or there, isn't it? So we can draw a pentomino that gets out of this box. We can't go far enough to get to that cell, or that one, or that one. It's going to be one of those two. So, and it's going to get there efficiently, as Simon would say. So it's always either going to be that shape, or that shape, or that shape, or that shape. So it's always an L or an N, and it's always 2 or 3. Isn't that weird? That must be right. Obviously, in this box, we can't get to that cell because we'd go through another star in the same box. So we have to be going to that cell. And we can't be doing it with an N because we'd need a 3 in row 1. So we are doing it with an L, and it's not that shape because what would happen to these 3 cells in row 1? It is this shape. The L needs 2 2s on it, including in the star. So we bang them in there. This has become a 1 by Sudoku, and that makes this cell blue. And the other one, that one couldn't be it because it would be in the same box. So we've finished some shapes, a 1, 2, and a 3, ideally. Now I'm going to look at this star. Didn't we just work out that all the corners have to have a 2 or a 3 in? They do. Well, if they have a star, they have to have a 2 or a 3 in. In fact, whatever they are, each corner of this puzzle is in a 2 or a 3 shape. Because it has to get out of its row, column, and box, that shape. So this is now a 3, another 3 in the corner, in the spotlight, losing its religion. But I don't know whether it gets to that cell or that cell. But it is a 3. It is in an N. And, well, this corner is not a 3. Well, the shape in this corner is not a 3. Because it would either be needing 3s in both those columns or 3s in both those rows, and it can't do that. So it is a 2. This is in a 2 shape. I'm going to colour it yellow. I mean, this cell itself doesn't have to be the 2 because it doesn't have a star in. Ooh, the 2 shape couldn't do that because the star cell sees all the other cells in that shape. And the 2 shape couldn't do that because it would cut off 3 cells. So it must go to this. No, hang on. I've made a mistake. I'm going to uncolour that cell. I have not allowed for this shape. I've claimed that this, okay, it applies where there is a star in the corner, that it has to reach there or there. It does not apply here. This does not have to reach there or there because this doesn't have a star in. What if you had that 2 shape or that 1 shape? Well, okay, that doesn't work because of that one, but all you have to do with this cell is get outside the box. Wow, that's really weird. Okay, I'll come back to that. I think it's probably in a 2 in this case, but it's only because of the position of those 1s that I now think that. And I may well have missed some possibilities. Anyway, let's go back up here where we've got 2 there. We've also got a shape beginning here. Now, this is a different shape beginning here. I know it's not the same as that orange because this would go round there. These 2 stars would have the same digit in the same row. That breaks Sudoku rules. So this is a different colour. Let's go bright, I don't know. Let's go dark green there. Okay, let's also stick some thick lines in so that anybody colourblind isn't going to get fooled by things being next to each other that they don't see as different colours. So I'm boundarising my shapes. Well, that's interesting. Where's this orange going to get out now? What I kind of mean is, can it avoid that cell? And the answer is no, because it would have to be confined to those 4. So it does hit that cell. Now this cell has to be orange. It can't be any other colour. And now this is not going to be a 3 because we can't put a 3 in that circle. Sorry, it's not going to be an N because we can't put a 3 in that star. I misstated 2 things there. It can't be a V because we can't put a 7 in the star and we would hit too many stars, etc. So I think it's got to be a P. This is its 5th cell. That is orange. We get 2 4s in the stars. We get to delineate its circumference there. This green now doesn't go to that star, or you get 2 of the same digit in the same column. So it goes there. We can draw a line there. We've got a new colour sticking out here. Why haven't I tried to use purple yet? I don't know. This green is going to have to extend to here. Now, it's got 3 possible continuations. That is not possible because you would end up with a 2 in the L star, and that's impossible. That is possible. We'd have an 8 there and an 8 there. And alternatively, it goes here. Then you have a 9 here and a 9 in one of those. So all I can do is draw a thick line there. And also, I should have done one here. Okay, let's think about these 2 next. This could be green. Right, can this cell, its shape has to escape. It's obviously not going through green. It's either going through this star or this star. Now, can this cell escape through this star? And I think the answer is no, because it would have to take those 4 cells. Now, it couldn't take that cell as its 5th, because that would be a V, because the star would see all the other cells in the shape, and you couldn't have 2 of the same digit. It couldn't take that cell. You'd have 2 stars with the same digit in the same row and box. That's nonsense. It can't take that cell, because then it would be a 2, and you'd have to put a 2. Well, I mean, again, the star sees every cell in the shape. It can't be that, because you'd cut off row 3, column 2's little star. So that is impossible. So this cell does not escape through this star. Therefore, it does escape through this star. I'm going orange again here. Now, what is that? Okay, that is going to tell us that this, which is in a different shape, I'm going bright green, has to go here. Because even if it has that in it, it has to get out. Now orange has to come out at least to here. Now bright green has to come out at least to here. We're extending these shapes without having any idea what they are. Right, orange is not a T, because that star would see every shape in it. In fact, orange has to get out of this area. It has to have 1 cell at least out of that area so it can be the same as the star. It can't get as far as here, so that extra pentominoku number is going to be in one of those 2 cells. Orange can't be a 2 like that, so it must go through this cell. To get into one of those 2, it must go through this one. I'm sure that's right. Feel free to challenge me in the comments, but I have to make some progress, so I'm doing that. And that's drawing a lot of lines. It's finishing this dark green shape there, which is now an 8, by which I mean it's a U shape, which has a pentominoku number of 8, which goes in the star, and the other one in the shape must go there. Now, is this orange? Where is its 5th cell? Is it there? In which case this would be 9 and that would be 9, because it would be a Z. Or is it here? In which case this would be 1 and that would be 1, because it would be Y. Or is it here? In which case this would be 3 and that would be 3, because it would be N. They all look possible for orange. Let's think about green. Right, this is not green. That's the not bright green. That's the vital deduction. Because we're not allowed an I. It would have 2 pentominoku digits in the same column. And we're not allowed a 2 here, because where would you put the 2 2's? I mean, you couldn't put one on the star at all. So that is orange, and it is a Z. And we put a 9 on the star for Z and a 9 there. And this now, it's not going to be a 2. It's not I, it's not L. O, it could, sorry, O is not a pentomino, that's me expostulating. It could be a Y with a 1. Oh, look, there's a sudoku digit. 1, 1, that's a 1. Okay, that's the way to do this. So we whack in a 1 there, because 1 is on the star, so this is a Y shape. 1 is one only has 1 shape associated with it by these pentominoku rules. So we rule that off. Here we go. We've made progress. Purple has to get out there. What is purple going to do? What's it going to be? Where's it at? What are you up to, purple? Right, purple has to get out of this box. Now, how could it do that without finding its 2nd digit in box 4 somewhere? And the answer I'm going to give you, be it right or be it wrong, is that the only other place it could go is here. And that's not going to work, because that would make it an L, which would need a 2 in one of those cells. So purple's second pentominoku digit is in one of these two cells in box 4. And it is not a W, because W, like U, uses 8s, and we're not allowed to put an 8 there. So it doesn't use both of those. It doesn't just use that, or it would be a Z, and we've got a 9 problem and a cutoff problem. So it just uses that in box 4, and therefore that is its 5th digit, its 5th cell, its finish. And this is now an F shape in the F orientation. That tells us we have a 6 here, and that means the second 6 is here. Hurrah! Oh, I'm going to fence in the middle cell just because I can. Now, it's tempting to think that that 3 does that. It certainly doesn't do that. The other two alternatives are that and that. Now, they may be worth thinking about. Let's make this 3 red. If we did that shape, we would be forcing this cell above the 3 to be part of a W to let the rest out. That would require an 8 in there and an 8 in one of those. Oh, I should do sudoku. I do keep forgetting to think about any sudoku in this puzzle. Look, I can stick an 8 in there. I don't know if the sudoku is going to help at all, but I might as well look at it because I'm better at that than pentominoes, probably. 3 in one of those, 6 in one of those, 9 in one of those, 1 somewhere here. I mean, we've got a few clues to the sudoku, but not enough to really fill anything in. I've only got, well, I've got that star left. I've got to think about this cell. I'm going to make that yellow because I know it's part of a 2, and I've made that other 2 yellow. Now, I was going to think about this. Right, if that went like this, we get the... Oh no, that's not the way we get the W. Right, what happens there is that we get a P here. So how do I know that? Let me just sketch that in. If that was red, this cell has to go through this cell. Therefore, it has to pick up those 2. But it also needs to go into a different box, so it would have to go there. And that would give us a P, with a 4 there and a 4 in one of those. Now, alternatively, we could have a red shape like that, and we've just discovered that gives us a W with an 8 in one of those because an 8 there. But there is the much safer alternative of a red shape like that, which is possible. I don't know the answer. Oh, this is, I suppose, a new shape beginning here. Let's go bright green again. Okay, I'm going to have to think about the 2 possibilities here. We know this is in a 2 shape. That does either reach that cell or that cell. That's still right, even though I have to be more careful without the star and the grid. Yeah, it is still true, and it can't be a 3 shape. It is a 2 shape. Now, does it reach that cell? In which case, it can't go like that, because the star would see every other digit in it. It would... Oh, no, you see, this is what I've got wrong again. It doesn't have to reach those. It could look like that, or like that. Oh, I'm so slow to understand this wrinkle. It feels very different to the other corners now, and it's worrying me. I'll be blunt and say it is worrying me. Oh, look, this could be a 2. Like that, with a 2 there and a 2 there. That would be a 2. I'm sure that works in the rest of the puzzle. Yeah, there's no problem with that. Interesting. and disappointing, because I was thinking of sort of working on the possibilities of this, but with only 2 cells and a shape, you really haven't got very far in considering its possibilities at all. Oh, goodness. Oh, there's a 4 in one of those 2 in that row. And a 4 somewhere up there. I mean, none of that's going to do any good. I've got to think about this shape. But this is hard. How do you rule out one thing and not the other? Am I missing something dramatically obvious here? I don't know. Maybe I just have to think about this star. But I just think this star is going to get its other star. I mean, we've already found there's one possibility there. I think that's the only way it could get its star in box 5. Otherwise, it gets its other star in box 9, which is very likely. I actually think that 2 shape is going to prove correct. I don't know how you go about this at all. I mean, we've made great progress. Oh, there's a 3 in one of those 2. That's not very interesting. I mean, Ibn Muhyiddin, you could have provided me some more stars. It seems very hard at this point, this puzzle. Am I really missing something blindingly obvious? Okay, just have to gird our loins and think about it harder somehow. Right, this is in a 2 shape. It's either going to use 2 2s in this area or 2 2s in this area. If it's in that area, that becomes a 2. And one of these is a 2. If it's in this area, oops, sorry, not quite getting my area delineation done right. Then there's a 2 in one of these 2 cells. And a 2 in one of those 2. I don't know. How are we meant to know? Six, 3, 7, 3, 1, 8. Oh my goodness, I'm really struggling with this stuff now. I have definitely filled in both digits in all the complete shapes. Both pentominoku digits, I have. They're all done. So there must be a way of analysing these. Right, let's think about that. That needed the W. Oh, what happens here? If that's a 3, this can't be a V, or we would have shut off an area of 7 cells, which can't be therefore tiled with pentominoes. So if that exists, this isn't allowed to be an I, and it can't be an L, unless there's a very careful arrangement of 2s elsewhere. No, it can't be an L. Oh, bother, it could be an I. A 1, sorry, not an I. It's not allowed to be an I. I mean a Y, which is a 1. Anyway, I'm just going to tell you why it can't be an L. You can't have an L there because that would force this bottom right corner's L to go into columns 6 and 7. And you're not allowed to put its 2 L's in those cells because the star needs the L. So L wouldn't be possible. So if that 3 exists, this has to be an I, a Y, with 1s in it, there and there. Now they look like they would fit perfectly. So annoyingly, that is extremely possible. Then we would have that whole area tiled. We'd be putting the W8 in there. Okay, that doesn't work because now, I'm sorry, I'm gonna just color this to explain how I can see that doesn't work, so you're following me. That Y, which is a 1, would meet another Y, which is a 1 here. And they would both need 1s in those cells, and that can't happen. This would have to be a 1. It couldn't join the green. It would be too long. It can't be an I. Again, for the same sorts of reasons, it can't be an L. And it just doesn't work. So it doesn't work without taking that cell, and it's not allowed to because the I breaks on those two. I mean, that's complicated, but it is right. So that 3 shape is wrong. Now, I thought we almost proved that 3 shape wrong. That needed to go with a 4 here, a P4 there. And then this, again, mustn't cut off that, although that could be green. I think this can't be a 2 again. No, it can't be an L2 because one of its 2s would be in that row and one of its 2s would be in that box. And that obviates both possible conformations of 2 from here using that row and that box. Wow. And it can't be that Z either because that would need a 9 in one of those cells. My goodness, so that doesn't work because of this again. It can't, sorry, I've just thought of U, but it can't be that either because of these 8s. Holy moly. Okay, I think we've ruled out all of those positions for 3, both that one and that one. Tell me if I've missed something, but I don't think I have. Maybe I'll get the puzzle wrong and learn that way. But therefore it has to go up to this cell. It obviously can't go like that or it cuts off that cell. So it must go like that, and this is our 3. And that's probably taught me almost nothing about the puzzle, which is highly distressing. But it has positioned 3. I suppose we get a new shape in there, starting there. That shape can't come to this cell because it would have to hug that cell and it would be another N needing a 3 in it. So that is a different color. We'll make it orange now. That has to get out. This has to get out. Yeah, that's getting quite interesting straight away. They both have to get out. Right, where can this bright blue go? Again, it can't be a U because of those 8s. We need to put 2 8s in a U and we could only have that cell available. It can't be a 2 for the reasons we've looked at before, an L2, because it would need 1 there ruling out those and 1 there ruling out these. And then this 2 thing couldn't work. So it's not a U or an L. And therefore it doesn't go, yes, it can't be a Z. And therefore it doesn't go to this cell. Right, it doesn't go to this cell either without going to that cell because it would be, I was going to say it would have to be that shape. Well, it would either be a W, which would need an 8 in this column, so it could only have 1 8 in box 8, and that won't work because of this, or a V, and that won't work because this would be another 2, using 2 2s in the bottom 2 rows, and we've seen that this 2 shape can't have its 2 2s there and there. I mean, this is crazy, but this is actually working. So this shape, this blue shape, doesn't get to this column. It is confined to these columns. Now, that must be helpful. It obviously doesn't reach the bottom or it would shut in orange in too small a space. The same would be true down here. So it's now confined to those 6 cells. These are the possible blue cells, and one of them is not right. Which one? We can't take out that one or we break up the blue shape. We can't take out that one or we get this orange L2, which does not work with the yellow. So it's one of these two that's wrong. Could this be a T? No, because this would either be an L or an I, and we've worked out that L is impossible down here. It breaks yellow. I is always impossible. So this is not a T. This is an F. My goodness. It almost looks impossible for it to be an F because it's nesting into the other F. But as Sherlock said, once the impossible has been eliminated, whatever remains must be the truth. And there is room to put 2 6s in this shape, and they go there. This is madness. Right, orange is becoming incredibly restricted now. It's got to come out to here. We know it can't be I. We've worked out continually that it can't be L. It can't be N because we've had that 3. We can't have another 3 in row 9. So it's got to be I. And it's got to have 2 1s in it. And we know exactly where they go from our pencil marking and the fact that we need 1 in row 8. And we've got them done. Now, we have, counting those green cells in that yellow one, we have, I was going to say 20 cells left to make 4 more shapes. We don't have to have different shapes, we just have to have pentominoes. Now, there's probably some sudoku arising. Yes, look, there's a 6 here. Let's stick that in. That's now a 5-9 pair. This is a 2-6 pair. Weirdly not resolved. This is a 3-4-5 triple. That's not 4. This is a 6-7-9 triple. In fact, I know where the 6 goes. I have a feeling that actually solving the Sudoku parts of this is useless, which is frankly almost depressing. But it doesn't actually inform anything else unless I get a digit into a cage area where I need to learn something. This is all so untrammeled that it feels very hard even now to get an idea of how we're going to fill it. Let's get rid of the pencil marking. Right. 2, so 3, 8, 9, 6, 1. These include 2 and 7. It just doesn't matter. I've never done a puzzle in which the Sudoku bits mattered less. I'm quite upset by it. We've got a 1 in one of those cells. Okay, we're going to have to look at this crazy remaining area. We know there's an L that includes this corner. We've got that star. Why isn't that more helpful? It is. Okay, this can't be an L after all, because this shape would be part of an L that went into column 6 and needed a 2 in it, just as that would need a 2 in column 6. So that would be too many 2s in column 6. So this star is not green. Maybe that's the thing, is to find cells that can't be either green or yellow. We've got 4 shapes left to make. That is not green, but it could be yellow. I feel like it's going to be yellow. But it's going to have to be that shape if it's yellow. Green could still be an N, a 3. That's weird, because you'd kind of think we've used up too many 3s. We've got at least... Oh, I thought we had 3 of them in the grid. Maybe we've only got 2 in the corners so far. I thought we'd got more. Okay, what do we... I don't know what to consider. It's very hard to work this out. Right, if this reached that cell... It doesn't have to. It could be that shape. Oh. Where's this going to get its second star from? It's not green. If it's yellow, it's that shape, and its second star is there, and they're both 2s. Okay, so that is the shape we're looking at. Maybe there's something about the fact that all of the remaining shapes need to cross box boundaries and have stars in different regions. I just don't know how it works if that's important. I've got 6 by Sudoku in one of these cells. That's not going to do anything. Honestly, why I'm still looking at the Sudoku aspects of this when I keep saying they're pointless, I don't know. It's just my brain is drawn to them. Okay, come on, Mark. Think about it. What have we got? If this was that shape, this cell would either be green and part of an N, or it would have to escape here. Well, it couldn't be another 2. It could be in a T, which is 5, except that, wow, this would be a Z, and that would be a V, and that can't be a V. Okay, so this can't, yeah, it can't be a Z or it shuts in green. It can't be a L2 because we'd have an L2 here. That would be too many 2s in the boxes. And it can't be, we've just worked out it can't be a U looking like that because, is that what we worked out? No, I thought that came up with a V, with a V here, and it doesn't. So U looking like that. Oh, that would require green to be, oh no, it was T that ended up with an impossible V. U ends up with an impossible I here, because we can't put a 1 there. Oh, an impossible Y. I'm sorry, I keep calling Y I. Okay, so this is not right. And obviously this is not right because it shuts off an area. However, that might be right, with 2s there and there. So that is possible. That is impossible because the star sees every cell within it. That is impossible because it shuts off an area. So it's either like that or like that. And these are all yellow, these 3 cells. And they then continue to either go up here or up here. That's weird. Okay. Now, let's say this wasn't green. Would it have to pick up this cell? I think it would, because you couldn't imagine a shape starting there and another shape starting here. This would end up having to be a 2. That's no good. So, if this is not green, it would have to pick up that cell. Could it be? It can't be a P because we've had a 4 in one of the 2 columns. T makes this green impossible. We've seen that before. Or does it? Actually, it does. There is another possibility I hadn't seen. T with Z there, L there, but that leaves a P here, which would have to have a 4 here. So that's not possible. So if this is not green, what could it possibly do? We can't have 3 there because this can't be a 3. We can't have N like that. This can't be V because there would need to be a 7. Oh, hang on. Can this be V with L underneath it? The 7 couldn't be on the end, but you could have 7 there and there. Now, can you? With V underneath, I'm wondering, with L underneath. It's complicated. This wouldn't be the green wouldn't be allowed to be a P or an L. I think it would have to be a T. And this would need 2 6s in. And it can't have one in box 9. My goodness, that is complicated, but that doesn't work either. And I think, therefore, we've proved that this cell is green. And it's hard, but this puzzle is hard. I'm going with it. Now, for this cell not to be green, I think we are going to find it's an N, but I haven't proved that, and I do want to. I desperately want to. It's not an I. We do know that because 1 can't go there. So this green does not go to there. Does it go to this cell? What are the 5th cell possibilities if they're not there? They're here, in which case we'd need 2 6s, but we can't have any in these columns. That's no good. An X, we haven't really had an X. We'd need 2 8s in it. That looks possible. I'm not going to rule that out. Or an F here, but again, that would need 6s in places 6s can't go. So the only way this could take that into it is as an X. Now, okay, what happens down here? I think, what happens to the star? The star is now either in a 4 or a 2. We can't have a U holding that X underneath because of the positions of 8s. We can't therefore have a 4 in either that position because it would mandate a U, or that position because it would mandate another 2 with a 2 there. And that won't work. Wow. So X, I think, doesn't work. Oh no, I was going to consider, yeah, we can't have a W there again because of 8 not being able to be there. Right, that is not an X and doesn't take that cell, and I'm going to draw a thick barrier there. Now, are there any other possibilities apart from N? If we took that cell without taking this one, that is F. That's the only way it would let this escape, and that needs 6s in those columns. No good. At least one of them. No good. In fact, there's nowhere for 6 to go in that shape. So it would have to take this cell. That's gone green. Can this be a P? No, because we've had a 4 there. So we've done it. We've found another N shape. And we can put 3 here. And not in those cells. And another one, well, in one of those 2. That's an annoying X-wing of 3s. But, oh, goodness. I say again, Ibn Muhyiddin, you could have provided us more stars. You really could. It might be easier to do then. Maybe that's not the point. Anyway, oh, we've got a 1 by Sudoku there. And then a 1 X-wing in those 4 cells. We get a 2 in one of those 2. I wonder if it'll go in the middle. Ooh, it probably won't go there. It won't go there, the 2, because wherever this 2 shape goes, it's going to need a 2 out of the box, and that's going to prevent that being a 2. That's lovely. That's a lovely move. So you get a 2 in the middle. 8, 6, 2, 1, 1, 6, 2, 3, 7. Oh, goodness. I mean, again, the Sudoku doing me nothing, getting me nothing. So unfair. Moan, moan, moan. Right, we're now. Now I don't know anymore which of these shapes is more likely, that one or that one. Right, if we did that one, what remaining cells? Oh, we couldn't have 2 interlocked U's. Yes, interestingly, because this is a symmetrical shape about the diagonal, and these are reflected about the diagonal, we're going to end up with the same shape in one rotation or another, which looks a bit like this. Now that is not allowed to be 2 P's or 2 U's, which is how it would divide symmetrically. And that's because 2 P's would require 4 4s in either 3 rows or 3 columns, and 2 U's would require 4 8s in either 3 rows or 3 columns. So this would have to divide up differently. And it couldn't be P like that and P like that for the same reasons. Is there even a way? WW? No, again, that doesn't work. That would need 4 8s. Oh. It kind of looks like it's not working. Maybe my corner is wrong. Is there still a way of that to be... There is a way of that to be wrong, you know. I'm going to unyellow those cells because it doesn't work this way. So I thought we were either doing that shape or that shape. None of these deductions have been based on this, although they are based on the fact that 2 needs to get out of this corner into either that row or that column. That's still true. But what about this shape, which doesn't use that cell? Now we're not, we're not allowed that shape. That shape won't work. Yes, that shape won't work because this remaining area is impossible, as we've just proved. That shape won't work in this puzzle because of the star, which sees all the other cells in it. That shape won't work because of the remaining area left. This shape will work and is right, therefore. And again, I invoke Sherlock Holmes and say that has got 2 2s in it. One of them is there. One of them, unknown which cell, it's in one of those 3. And now we're left with an area that we can populate with 2 different shapes. Either F and P or X and U. Now we can't do F because we've had 2 6s in these rows. F would need another 6. Oh, there's also N and P to think of, but I'm sure we've had too many 3s. We've had 3 3s in these columns already. We can't have an N. This is mad, isn't it? I think that's it, because we have to consider this shape. What is this shape? If it's not F, and we've proved it's not, if it's not N, and if it's not P and V won't work because of the 7 there. Hadn't thought of it before, but I have now. I think this is X. Again, let me know in the comments if I've missed something, but I'm going with this because I think I've proved it. This is our last quadrant in the puzzle. Right, and this X needs 2 8s. Oh, no, it doesn't, thank goodness, because it can't have that. It needs 2 9s. I don't know why I thought X needed 8. X needs 2 9s. I don't know where to put them. This U needs 2 8s. One of them in the star, obviously, and one of them there, therefore. Now, this needs 2 9s. I don't know where to... I mean, they're not going to be in the center, obviously. They're going to be in 2 of those cells, not 2 in the same row, column, or box, but that leaves some possibilities. Okay, let's do Sudoku. That 3 makes that 5. I mean, I hope there's enough Sudoku to do this puzzle now. And I feel very nervous that there isn't, but we can only do our best and try and see. That is 1, 2, or 5. Actually, where is 1 in this row? Oh, it's in one of these cells. We don't know which. Okay, let's think about these 9s that we're going to have to put in. There is a 9 in one of those 2 cells, so there can only be 1 in that group of cells, and that is a 9. Now we can't put another one in those cells, so one of these 2 is a 9. I don't think I can tell from that one which it is. But one of those 2 is a 9. Now that's not a 9, and that is a 9. And I want to suddenly see oh, that is a naked single by Sudoku. That's a 7. That's the sort of thing I do like to find. I can finish the middle box. It's quite hard to see the boxes with all these colours and lines, but they are still there. That is a naked 4. Column 4 is finished. That feels like an absolute triumph. This is 5 or 7. These are from 3, 5, 7. In this column, we need 9 and 8 still. I don't know how they shake down yet. This one, that is 2 or 4, I've just seen. Let's try, should we try this row? 7 in this row has only one place now. There it is. That's a naked 4. 5 and 8 in those cells. That 4 makes that a 2. That makes this a 6. That sorts out 2, 6. That 2 is helpful. That makes 2 there. 6 here. This one is not 2 or 6. 7 is in one of those 2 cells. Not finalised. Right, that is 1 or 5 now. That is 2 or 5. 9, 6, 3, 1. Suddenly, you're just beginning to get the impression that there is enough Sudoku to finish the puzzle. For the first time, I want to say. That's 5 or 8. That's a pair in the box. Good thing I can still just about detect the box shapes. 5, 8, 4, 5. Wow, I think this is going to happen now. I sort of think this is going to happen now. But we're not done yet. 8, 4, 6, 7, 9, 2. These are from 1, 3, 5. That one can't be 1. 1, 2, 3, 6, 8. This column, oh, that's a 5, 4 pair. So that's a 1 in its box. And that makes this a 1, and this one not a 1. Let's get rid, as usual, of those corner marks. I can't believe that's still to do. That's not a 1. I said it's not 5 either. That's 2. Now, in this column, this is 4 or 5. It can't be 9. So that's 9. Oh, that doesn't sort out this thing. I thought 9 was going to. 4, 5. This is now a 7, 9 pair. That's become a 4. That looks across at blue. 7 and 4 done there. Now, that's not a 7. I can't believe this is still quite tricky. Oh, that's become a 5. Right, that makes this 3 and 5. 3 there. This is now 7. That is now a 9 by Sudoku. And the second 9 that we needed in the X, which I thought we were going to get a different way. And that is the completion of an extraordinary puzzle in under an hour, and I'm very pleased with that. What an amazing thing. By the time you solve this, there will be a solution in it. Brilliant stuff from Daoud ibn Muhyiddin. Congratulations to you, your wife, and Layla. And I shall say goodbye for now. Thanks for watching.